Okay, today we're going to go over some other stuff that Pixlr does. So the first thing I'm going to do is have to open an image. And there we go. I'm going to open this one here. And I'm just going to go apply because that'll pick its settings. There we go. So we have all these tabs across here. We have File, where obviously open a new image, close, save, print, edit. We can transform stuff. Free Distort, whoops, there we go, Distort. And Transform has some rotations and some flips, and I'll show you those. Image, that'll change the size of the whole thing, and I'll talk about that a little bit more also. Layer, we're going to skip. We're going to go to Adjustments and Filters. Adjustments do different things with the colors and the brightness and the saturation and other stuff like that, and filters do all kinds of different stuff. So we'll talk about all that. Okay, to show you what we're going to do first, I'm going to copy and paste something. So I'm going to click on the pixel picker, and I'm going to just get a copy of this. Highlight what I want to copy, hit Control-C to copy it, Control-V to paste it. And there it is. And here it's already in kind of a transformation mode. I can make it larger and smaller. And I can rotate it. But that's all I can do with it set up like that. If I want to do some different things, I have to go to Edit. Free Transform is a lot like this one. I can still rotate it. But when I make it larger or smaller, I can make it wider or thinner, taller, shorter or taller. And then when I click outside of it, it asks me if I want to apply them or not. If I like what I did, I click yes. I'm going to click no because I have other stuff to do. So we'll click no and go back to the way it was before. We have Free Distort, which is different than what we just did because we can click on one corner and only that corner drags out. And so I can do all kinds of different things with it. And again, when I click outside of it, it asks me if I want to apply or not. I'm going to click no again. And the last things we do are pretty simple ones. They're transform. I can rotate it left or counterclockwise. I can rotate it right or clockwise. And then I can flip it both vertically and horizontally. So I can go horizontal flip, which is just one side to the other, or I can go vertical, which will turn it upside down. And that's all under the Edit tab. Okay, the next tab has to do with the entire picture, things we're going to do with the entire picture. So we click on it, image size. This is if the picture's too big and I want to make it smaller so I can email it to somebody or something. I come up here and here's the width, the height, constrain proportions. That means if I change the width, it'll automatically adjust the height to match. If I undo this, it'll make it, if I change the width, it'll make it either thinner or wider, and it'll look kind of stretched out. So I can do that if I want, but I'm going to leave it constrained. I'm going to bring it down to 1,000 pixels. It automatically adjusts the height. I click apply, and there we go. The next one is the canvas. And remember, the canvas is what we're drawing on, what people see. So we can make the canvas bigger than the picture itself so that we can put a border around it or add other pictures to it. So we go to Image, Canvas Size. And this says it puts it in the middle. That means that whatever I change will go all the way around it. I can make it go to one side. I can make it go down into one side. But I'm going to leave it in the center there. I change these separately. I'm going to change that to 1,500. I'll change that to 1,000. Now when I go apply, you can see that our canvas, this checkerboard area, is the new viewing area, the area that will be seen by the whole, I can draw in there and it'll be seen in the picture. So that is the image layer. Okay, for the next part, I want to get rid of that extra border part. So I'm going to go to Edit, Undo, and there. Now you can see the whole picture there. We're going to go to Adjustments. There's Auto Adjust, which will automatically adjust the picture. You can see how it just got a little bit darker. I'm going to undo that too, and you'll see it go lighter. Then, and I have to select, got to mention, I got to select the layer I'm working on. So I could work on just this layer here and do the adjustments on just that. Brightness and contrast. Move this out of the way. Brightness is how light or how dark it is. Contrast is the difference between the colors. So the less contrast, the more it blends together. The more contrast, the more things stick out, the different colors stick out. Again, I can choose to apply it or not. I'm not going to. So we also have temperature and tint. Temperature is just kind of how bold it is. You can see how it kind of makes it a little cooler, more of a hot look, redder. Tint changes the colors too. Green. And that is a lot like hue and saturation. Changes the colors. Hue changes the colors. Saturation is how much color is in there, so I can put a lot of color in there. Or if I pull it all the way down, it basically makes it gray, black and white. And lightness, this is just like the brightness on the other one. Cancel that. Vibrance, I'm going to let you mess with. Color balance, you can look up. Exposure, posterize. I'm going to click on this on the background to do posterize. It kind of makes it, blends some of the colors together, so you can kind of see what it's doing down there. Again, going to cancel. There's a bunch of stuff I did not go over in here. Oh, one last one I'll show you is invert. Kind of makes it a negative look. And if I don't like it, I just go back and invert again, and it's back to normal. So that is all the stuff under the adjustments. Right next to adjustment is the filter tab. And there's a whole bunch of stuff on here, and I'm actually going to let you mostly do this on your own and just kind of check them out and see what it does. I'm going to show you a couple of things. First one is the effect library. And I'm going to actually get rid of, whoops. I'm going to get rid of that, get that out of our way so we can see what's going on. So we go to effects library, and here has specific effects that show you kind of what they look like around here. You can click on it, and it shows you different choices you can make. So if I click this button here, it shows me what it does there. I don't know why they name him Antonio or what. You can also adjust how much it affects it. Bob. Don't ask me why they call them what they do, but that's what they do. But here you can kind of see the different things they do. I can go back and pick different ones. There are shades. Strawberry, these obviously have to do with the color. Portrait. Matte kind of makes it less shiny. Deep. Film. That's kind of gritty, whatever that is. Anyways, there are all of these. You can just check those out and see how they work. I'm just going to cancel and go back to normal. So under filters, you have the effects library, and then you have the specific ones. There's sharpen, clarity, blur, Gaussian blur. I'm not exactly sure why it's called that, but you can see how I can change how blurry it gets. And the really good thing about this is, I'm going to cancel it, is if I use my pick and I highlight just like here, and then I go to Gaussian blur, it just blurs that piece. And I'm going to actually apply this so you can see that it only blurs that area that I highlighted. So it's a good thing if you want to blur certain things out on the picture. And actually, a lot of the filters work that way. You're going to want to check that, try that. You can also use the Lasso Tool and just pick like this area. Well, that's not going to show too blurry, but let's pick this one right here. Make it look weird there. I'll go to filter, blur, and it just blurs inside. It just blurs those ones I picked. Okay, so I'm just going to let you check those out as you do the assignment. There's a whole bunch of them here. Some of them do some really interesting stuff. I'm going to let you mess around with those. Remember, you can always undo it. Sometimes it'll ask you if you want to apply or not. If you don't like it, say no. If you accidentally apply it, just go edit, undo. And you see how it unpick those, and I can undo it and it'll sharpen it up again. And now that's back to normal. Okay,